watching WUFT TV News.
Welcome back. Well, Thursdays on WUFT News are known for its health beat.
Ashlyn Reese joins us now with the latest health news to know.
Well, Jose, James, most of the time, obviously, we try to keep ourselves as healthy as possible, but sometimes that's just out of our hands. We all hate waiting in line. Imagine waiting for 11 months at the hospital. WUFT's Leah Shields looked at the transplant waiting list and met a young man doing just that.
Up to the 5th floor and down to Unit 54, you can hear live music. Nurses and staff on this unit have been hearing music bursting from room 5 for 11 months.
It's not easy to wait. Today's 3:41 or 3:42. So I'll be doing a year now, October 23rd.
11 months Derek Larea has been waiting. Like the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz, Larea is waiting for a heart.
You know, my name is Derek. I'm 27, 28 now in November. You know, waiting for a heart, you know, waiting for that. I call it one more beat, you know.
Larea was born with a congenital heart defect called hypoplastic left heart. He had 3 open heart surgeries as a young boy. Back in 2013, his heart began to fail. Then almost a year ago, Larea became eligible for a heart transplant. And almost a year ago, he joined Unit 54 at UF Health Shands Hospital.
All right, kids, you have a great day and a better tomorrow.
Thanks. First time I ever heard that.
Good to meet you.
Great day, better tomorrow.
And for nearly a year now, the hospital has become his home.
Every day, twice a day, I'll stop by his room and say, just bother him. I love waking him up in the morning because he hates being woken up. So I'll walk in and saying, hello, beautiful. Just to get him up, and he hates it, but I personally love it. It's like a little sister sort of thing.
And his machines have become a lifeline.
This is the Merlone. We call this from a friend of mine who was here. She waited 14 months. A friend of mine, Laura, she calls it heart crack. And then this is the Butamine. I call it heart juice.
Other than Unit 54 and 55, this is as far as Larea is allowed to walk by himself. Once he gets past this hallway, the nurses can no longer read his machines, and it's unsafe for him to be alone. Larea may not be allowed to travel far, but he has done plenty in his small space. In room 5, Larea earned his associate's degree in business.
And then I've planned, you know, for the future.
But in this small room, he also plans for the worst.
So I've planned for my death. So yes, you know, I mean, let's be honest. You know, yeah, I could get the heart, but, you know, they're going to take one out, they're going to put one in, and there's always that chance that one's not going to pump.
So Larea keeps on waiting. His hospital family waits with him.
I'm sure many people couldn't imagine being in this room for a year, but when he gets it, it's going to be bittersweet because I'll miss him a lot.
But for now, Larea continues to play his music, and nurses and staff in Unit 54, down the hall and farther than Larea can travel, can hear it. Leah Shields, WUFT News.
Since our reporter met Derek Larea last month, his long wait finally ended. Last week, his family shared on his blog that a donor finally came through and he now has a new heart. They sent their love and prayers to the family of the donor, an unknown hero. You can follow the next stages of Larea's journey on his Facebook blog, One More Beat. A new VA clinic opens with specialty care for a more unique patient base. The clinic is the 4th in the United States to offer specialized treatment for transgender veterans. The clinic opened Wednesday night in Tucson, Arizona, and already has a patient list of over 130 people. Most transgender veterans would generally seek treatment with their primary care doctors, but this clinic adds to their healthcare options. Advocates consider it a huge win for the LGBT community, sending the message that these medical services are legitimate and necessary. This year's deadline to enroll for healthcare under the new government system will end tonight at midnight. The original closing time was scheduled for Tuesday at midnight. Administrators say additional people have signed up during the extra 48 hours. The call center actually just broke a record with more than 1 million calls in a single day. Coverage for those enrolling begins January 1st. Brain researchers have been looking for signs of people enjoying the Christmas spirit. A team of researchers used MRIs to scan people's heads as they were shown images of Christmas and everyday objects. They found that those who look forward to Christmas and holidays' joys had more activity in the parts of their brain that are linked to spirituality and senses. That's compared to those who take a bah humbug approach to the holidays. Well, guys, not that I spend all my time thinking about eggnog and gingerbread, but I'm pretty sure my brain would light up like a Christmas tree.
See, that story had me thinking, does that mean there are real-life Grinches, in the world?
Well, the important thing to remember is for as many Grinches as there are out there, we can always balance them out with mall Santas putting a smile on people's faces as the kids go on their lap.
That's a good point.
Thank you, Ashlyn. Now, December weather is coming our way, but don't expect any snow just yet.
That's right, that we won't see any ice. Rebecca tells us we can certainly expect a dramatic cool down. Rebecca.
Temperatures will be taking a dive. It will be quite dramatic after starting the week in the 80s, and we're going to be starting the weekend in the 30s. But for now, you need the umbrellas, and hey, we could use the rain. Started off December rather dry, but now we have showers moving through. They've really been in the line from Cedar Key to Jacksonville for much of the afternoon. Now some of that activity starting to approach the west side of Gainesville. The heavier rain and hail in Newberry now just to the north of Tioga, and this activity continuing to the north and east, and we could have some heavier rain impacting the city of Gainesville within the next half an hour to 45 minutes, approaching the Oaks Mall at 5:23, close to Hale Plantation 5:25, Millhopper 5:20 out there. So there could be some heavier rain approaching, but this is just the beginning because all this activity moving in from the Gulf is ahead of the actual cold front that we're tracking. It is the strongest front of the season. So let's break it down with the three big things that you need to know. Thunderstorms still possible through the night, and showers through the morning. Could have some gusty winds as well. I'm going to track those in just a moment. But then comes a brief winter blast, but it is a blast, even though it is brief, a 30-degree drop in temperatures this weekend, and then it's gone. So if you don't like the cold, well, it'll be out of here by early next week, and near record warm temperatures return once again. But changes are already overtaking much of the eastern United States, and many have been begging for it. 25 degrees difference in Cincinnati compared to 24 hours ago, but it's still warming up in New York and down here in Florida. 3 degrees warmer in Jacksonville. As that front gets closer, though, things will start to change. And as I mentioned, this is all out ahead of the front. So once the actual front starts to move through, more showers and possibly some thunderstorms will be possible. Through the rest of this evening, on and off, lighter showers, possibly some heavier rain in some spots. But then by about 1 in the morning, between 1 and 3 o'clock, that's when there could be some stronger activity. You may hear some thunder, possibly some gusty winds outside through the night. And you can always track with us at ufweather.org/radar. The activity continues even through your commute. So if you're up early around 6 a.m., could still have some showers out there and some wet roadways. But we start to clear out. The winds turn out of the north, and here comes the change. In fact, we start out the warmest, so our high temperature likely occurs in the afternoon, and then we'll start to see a drop in our temperatures. The sun will start to come out, and we'll stay cool in the 60s. Once that sun sets, well, temperatures take a dive, and by Saturday morning in the 30s, mid-30s, 36 degrees in Gainesville, but it will likely feel much colder. Check it out, 29 degrees for a wind chill in the morning, what it will feel like in Gainesville, 31 in Ocala. So early risers, you'll definitely need the jackets in the morning and in the afternoon, but you won't need them for long. You can see it here on my 10-day outlook. After this cool weekend up ahead, temperatures in the 30s, we do start to warm up, but then the pattern turns wet again and still warm all the way through Christmas. Back to you.
All right, Rebecca, thank you. Well, it's been a quiet week for Gator sports with finals going on the last few days.
However, the Gators men's basketball team is close to getting back out onto the court. WUFT sports anchor Connor Ingalls joins us on set.
Florida will take on Oklahoma State in Sunrise on Saturday. We'll show you coming up what Coach White had to say about his team coming off of that close loss at Michigan State. That and much more coming up in sports after the break.